What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nicole and today we're going to be sharing Naira's birth story. It has been a long time coming. I really wish I would have recorded it when it was like fresh. I had full intentions on doing so. However, I was just very anxious and just wanted to spend time with my family. So I did not prioritize vlogging my birth. I wish and I hope that I will for my others, but I am going to be referencing a lot in my notes on my phone because when she was like 2 or 3 weeks old, I did write her birth story in my phone to make sure that I remembered everything. However, I still remember everything. Obviously, it's a very big life event. Let's get into it. I do want to start off this video by just sharing a little bit about my pregnancy. It was very mild, very uneventful pregnancy, very chill. We did have to get recommended to an MFM, which is a high-risk doctor, because Naira was always, since the very beginning, measuring in the 10th, 11th, and 12th percentile throughout my whole pregnancy, and she was just a small baby, so she was perfectly healthy, growing as she should, and she came out and she's still pretty small for her age. So May 16th rolls around, which is my 40 weeks, and I go to the doctor and I was fully prepared to get a membrane sweep. That's what was in my mind and that's what I was set on, and yeah, if I was dilated enough, that's what I wanted to do. And going into that appointment, I really didn't have any other expectations other than I was getting a sweep, and I could possibly have my baby within the next day, because that's what happened to a friend of mine, and I was just fully prepared for that. Going to that appointment, she checks me and I'm not even the slightest bit dilated, and I was like just shocked, and like, because I'm 40 weeks pregnant, so I'm like, why am I not dilated at all? And I know dilation doesn't mean anything now, but when you're 40 weeks pregnant, and you know, I can easily say that now that I have met my daughter and had her, but when you're 40 weeks pregnant and you're super anxious to meet your baby, and you're just really excited to meet your baby, it's a little bit more difficult. So I think I just let the pressure of the world and like everything on the internet, and no family and friends pressured me at all to, you know, be like, Nicole, you need to have this baby or anything like that. But I just felt like a lot of pressure for myself, and I was just discouraged, like, why isn't my body doing what it's supposed to be doing? But little did I know that, you know, my body will go into labor when it's ready. But anyways, so leaving that appointment, I scheduled an induction for Thursday, May 19th. And in between those dates, I went to the park and I walked for miles and miles and miles. And every single day I was at the pool swimming. I heard that works. I was trying everything to push my body into labor. And Thursday rolls around. They told me to call at 3 o'clock to see if they had any rooms available. I was secretly hoping they had no rooms available at all and I could not go in. I feel like that should have been a telltale sign that like I can just cancel my induction. But instead I called. They said, yeah, come on in, and I came in. We showed up at the hospital at 4 o'clock and we did paperwork and we got signed in, and then we got taken to our room. We were taken back to our room and getting settled into our room, and I got blood work done and they checked my vitals and then put the monitors on baby. They could not get they could not get the IV into my arm. They tried so many different times. Trigger warning, blood squirting everywhere. It was just not good. And so finally they got it in my arm. I'm like, this is not starting off good, okay? First of all, this is not starting off good. Jonah went to the car to get sweatshirt and
his blanket and the breastfeeding pillow. But I'm just hanging out. I have to take my blood pressure every 15 minutes while I'm on Cytotec or whatever. But I'm on Cytotec. I think that's how you say it. And it's the tiniest little pill. And they cut it into 4s. And it goes in, like, one tiny little piece goes in your cheek. And then dissolves. And then they'll check me in, like, around 9:30 to see where I'm at. And then if I need more, they'll give me more every 4 hours. So that is the plan. We ordered Popeyes, which was honestly really expensive to DoorDash. They got this thing on my belly to monitor her, make sure she's doing okay. That's the heartbeat that you keep hearing. We're gonna eat and watch Survivor and then be on the edge. We're watching Survivor.
I'm going to be referencing a lot of these things in my notes. At around 5, a little bit before 5, I started my first dose of Cytotec to help soften my cervix because I was still at a 0. That evening, me and Jonah decided to DoorDash some Popeyes because that was going to be like the last time that I would eat until who knows when I had baby. So we ordered Popeyes and we ate Popeyes. I really only ate a biscuit. I was just so anxious and nervous, and I just don't have an appetite when I'm nervous and anxious like that. After I was done eating, I went to the bathroom and baby's heart rate almost flatlined. So as soon as they seen the baby's heartbeat was declining, they ran in and made sure that I was sitting down on the bed and relaxing. Baby's heartbeat went back to normal. So this is May 20th at 3 a.m. I took my last dose of Cytotec. And then I was trying to go back to bed, and first of all, I'm not one to stay the night at people's houses. I do not like it at all. I don't like staying anywhere that's not my home. I've always been like that since I was a kid. I was trying to sleep at the hospital. First of all, the labor and delivery hospital beds are awful. They suck. They are not comfortable at all. They hurt. And I was trying to sleep, and there was an awful thunderstorm. So bad that the lights flickered off and was off for a minute or so, and then they came back on. But I was terrified. And then as soon as they turned back on, I hear this woman screaming on the top of her lungs. She was just giving birth, of course, but I was petrified. So finally I got to relax and tried to get some sleep. I slept off and on, and obviously didn't sleep very well. By May 20th at 5:30 a.m. I got to start Pitocin. And by the time I started Pitocin, I was only 1 centimeter dilated, but I was very thinned out.
Hello, good morning. Yummy. And we got Pitocin.
So at 9 a.m. they did the balloon catheter, and I don't want to scare anybody, but that thing was pure torture. I hated that so much, very uncomfortable. And that was honestly one of the worst parts. I hated that. They came to tug on it every hour until they could tug on it and it would fall out. By 1 p.m. they pulled it out, and then my doctor came in to break my water.
Hello, she just broke my water and now I'm sitting here peeing my pants. It just does not feel good. It literally reminds me of that TikTok, and it's like, how you feel out there tonight? Yeah, I'm not feeling good.
They gave me the choice to get the epidural before she broke my water, because as soon as she broke my water, the contractions were going to get 10 times worse. And anyone who's had Pitocin or has spoken to anyone who's had Pitocin and had a natural labor and seen the science behind it, they know that Pitocin contractions are a lot worse than just natural labor contractions. And so after she broke my water, I started having contractions. Were pretty consistent. I was trying everything. Jonah would wet a washcloth and put it on my head, and he would also, and I was trying to like lift up my stomach. It was really hard to get out of bed because of all of the like things that were connected to me. And looking back, I don't know why I just didn't get up, because everyone says like it's a lot better when you get up and you're moving during your contractions. But for me, I just felt like I wanted to like lay down because I didn't feel good. So at 3 p.m. I broke down and I got the epidural. This is not something that I wanted to do going into my labor. I really wanted to do a natural labor. Nothing about this has been natural, but that was my hopes, that I really wanted to have a natural labor. But I broke down, and after laboring and just being super discouraged that my body was only at like a 3 or 4 at that point, I was absolutely exhausted. I was feeling okay after that. Around 4 o'clock, I called my nurse in because the epidural was not working, so he had to come back in and up my dosage. After he upped my dosage, the pain went away a little bit, but it would only go on one side and just a tiny bit. It did not work all the time. So at 5 p.m. they put in the, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, I feel like I remember them saying Cook's catheter or the pressure catheter or something like that. Basically it just goes inside, and it just goes in to check and see how strong your contractions are at this point. By 7:30 my contractions were 2 to 3 minutes apart, and the epidural had to be upped again, but again was still not working. It would work for maybe 15 minutes and then it would wear off. At 9 p.m. they came and checked me. I was at a 6, but baby was not quite in the right position, so I was doing exercises on the peanut ball.
I'm really tired. Joe's right there on the bouncy ball. And I'm right here on the peanut ball.
So I flipped to a side with the peanut ball in between my legs, and that really sped up my contractions and made them a lot worse. However, when I did flip to one side, I started to get a little dizzy, and I almost passed out, and I was telling my nurse that I was almost about to pass out, and then she realized that baby's heartbeat was tanking again.
She's coming soon. Okay. Yeah, she's been dramatic the whole time. Taking guesses, tonight or tomorrow. Hey, Mom, what'd you say your guess was?
12:03, 12:01, something in there, after midnight.
I'm going 11:59 or earlier.
At 12:30 a.m., so May 21st, I was officially in between like an 8 and a 9, and then they started to come in and prep the room. Around 12:45 is when they came in and said that they were going to have the NICU team come in because of the size that she was measuring. They had to have the full NICU team in there to fully be prepared to take her away if needed. Around 1 a.m. I started to push.
He might be a little stunned at first. He wasn't loving the squeeze. Just 36 hours later, you know. There we go.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Hold it all the work.
Oh, you're with Mama now.
Sarah was here at 3:15 a.m. She weighed 7 pounds 2 ounces and was 19 inches long. She was placed on my chest, and we got to do delayed cord clamping and the golden hour, and my nurse was absolutely incredible. I really appreciated her. And then May 21st at 5 a.m. They handed baby off to Jonah to hold for the very first time. As I was holding her, trying to learn, breastfeeding and all of that, I was looking in her mouth, and I asked the nurse what was in her mouth because she had something like on her gums right here, and I will insert a picture. And she said Epsom pearls or just excess tissue, and so I didn't think too much about it. And then we got taken to postpartum, and the pediatric team came in and did assess her, and I asked them what was in her mouth, and they said just excess tissue, and so I didn't think anything of it. She got back from all of her tests. She passed everything. She's not happy. Jonah took her passy over there. He went to go give me a spray. She literally looks so much like Jonah. It's ridiculous. She folds her hands together so perfectly every time, and it's so cute. Also, do you see this? I don't know if you've seen that. You'll have to go back and watch it. At the bottom, dang near looks like my child came out with teeth. I asked the pediatrician about it, and really 100% sure what it is. I think they're coming back today, but it just could be extra gum tissue or from when she was sucking her thumb. I'm gonna shower today. Look at my hair, Jonah. It's matted. It really is. That's like a dread. But the epidural is so weird because it's gravity based. But if you're laying on one side, it'll numb one side. You still have feeling of things. So contractions, urges to push, all the things. They used to have it where it was completely numb you, but they changed it because it was putting people at really high risk for C-sections because they couldn't feel the urges to push and stuff. Feel a whole lot on that side of the body, but I would feel every single contraction and everything from the other side of the body, and I was always on one side or the other. So it was so weird. I'm I don't even know why I got this. This is kind of pointless, but it wore off at 8 centimeters, and then it wore off at the end. But he had to stick me twice in order to get it in the right position, and it was not good. Not good, because now it just feels like a giant bruise on my back. How did you feel about it all, Jonah? That's a good question.
Pretty, super intense. The delivery was really intense. It was I don't know, I've never seen that. I mean, I think I've seen bits and pieces of a delivery, but I don't think I've ever seen a doctor grab the baby's head like this. Pull.
What's the best part?
The best part?
Yeah.
I think the best part was when Nairo had been born. They were cleaning her off, and the nurse who had been helping us all the way up to that point goes, "All right, so let me show you how to swaddle her." And she took her over there, laid her down, swaddled her up real tight, and she was she did it one time, real quick, and she goes, "All right, here's the first time Dad gets to hold you," and handed her to me, and I was like,
You go, oh, your eyes got big.
I was like, I didn't know this was happening so soon.
What do you mean so soon?
Well, I figured
That was
she'd be held by you for a little longer.
I was held by her, or she was held.
I was holding for like an hour.
It felt like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it really did.
One of my favorite parts. Another one of my favorite parts was just talking to your mom the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I had a friend there, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the experience and everything.
Yeah.
I had asked to be discharged a day early because I did not want to be there anymore. I was already there for a very long time and I didn't want to be there any longer. So I did ask to be discharged earlier, but it was very hard to get discharged because my blood pressure was on the higher end to where they did not feel comfortable to discharge me quite yet. So they had to check it multiple times that day just to make sure that it was okay. And we got home.
Where are we going?
Home.
Woohoo! With our little baby. We're going home. Doesn't she look so cute in that little camera? Do you just keep looking at her in it?
Yeah. It's a little distracting, actually. You know what this is? What that is?
I was trying to make her smell there. Because that's what she's going to smell. Close enough, you know? See? That's weird.
And I had to go back to the hospital because I did have a pretty high blood pressure and an excruciating headache. Everything turned out to be fine. My blood pressure finally regulated and my headache did go away. We took Naira to the pediatrician and she was born with 2 baby teeth. So that was interesting. I did not expect that for my first baby and it's very rare. This labor and delivery did not go anywhere the way that I wanted it to go. I didn't really have a lot planned because I didn't want to be disappointed. However, I just wanted to go into labor naturally. I think every girl wants that, but that's just not how it played out, which is perfectly fine now because we have the most perfect healthy baby girl and I couldn't have asked for anything more. I would have done it all over again for her. But I will do a lot of things different with my next kids, or at least I hope to. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm really excited that I finally sat down to record it, and I hope you subscribe and stick around and follow our journey.